Oh, you leaning into it, huh?
As I go about my day in the gym, with my activities of training fighters, pushing them to their limits, etc., I usually have random thoughts that occur in my head, but I have no time to focus upon them, so they're normally put in reserves to be addressed on a later date and time. I believe this is one of those later dates and times. Why is it that some boxers cannot be original in the choosing of their boxing name? I mean, shouldn't you have a little creativity when choosing that name instead of choosing someone else's name? Why is it called running? If a boxer seems to be defensive-minded and is adhering to one of the prime rules in boxing of not being hit, why is it actually called running? Could it be that what they actually mean is, please stop moving so that I can hit you? Speaking of hitting, why is it really the jab not counted as a power punch? This is a multifaceted tool. There are times when the jab's not even intended to strike the opponent. It could be used as a setup. But really, I've seen fighters get dropped by a jab. Let's say there's a right-handed boxer that converts, changes his stance to the south. Wouldn't that new lead hand still be a power punching hand? Why is it that a coach instructs the boxer during the rest break to take a deep breath? Could it be he has no solid tactical advice to give his fighter? Why is it that a boxer leaves his coach after a loss? I've never heard of a boxer leaving his coach and or team after a win. Why is it that most boxing commentators actually don't commentate on boxing more? Yeah, I'm sure they have a briefing of some sort where they gather information from the fighters in pre-fight meetings just to fill the gap. But I mean, why is it they cannot discuss boxing that is going on in front of them more? The details, the technique, the things that we really want to know about as we watch the fighters fight. Why is it most times during the interview in the ring after the fight, when presented with the simple question, who do you want to fight next, most boxers cannot answer that straight. They give you this canned response: I have to talk to my team, my promoter, my manager. No, you don't. They ask you the direct question, whom you'd like to fight next. I find it a bit strange that Andy Ruiz Jr., being a soft, fat, but very good boxer all his career, has only made a significant transformation upon his physique when switching to Canelo's team. I'm not too sure I'm down with this instant rematch thing. I'm not against rematch, but what I'm speaking of here is the instantaneous next fight rematch. I do believe if you worked hard enough to become a champion, you must work harder to maintain those belts. When and if you do lose, even if there is a rematch clause, I also believe you might have to go back to the gym, work a little harder and smarter, and also fight your way back into contention and position to redeem your belts. Why is the strict Mitt style not as popular as the fancy Mitt style? I mean, if you're teaching a fighter utilizing the mitts to throw a punch correctly, let us take the jab for example. Shouldn't that punch be executed close to how it should be executed in the ring upon an opponent? I mean, who's actually doing the work in these mitt sessions? It appears to me that the boxer stands still and basically slightly moves his or her hands to accommodate the mitts being projected towards them from the coach, who appears to me to be doing most of the work anyway. In regards to the ring rust, what the hell is ring rust? It seems to be a frequent asked questions to fighters that maybe haven't fought in a while. Look, these guys just don't show up on that day to fight, even if they have not fought in quite a while. They're normally gym rats. They're in the gym sparring, doing their thing. So I don't believe that term ring rust is a true term. Maybe ring moss? And last but not least, first and foremost, why is it that so many boxers embarking upon that interview has to start by saying, first and foremost, I'd like to thank God? Do you actually think God was watching the fight? Do you actually think God cares that you won or lost the fight in an activity that most likely he would not approve of anyway? I highly doubt it. Anyway, these are just a couple questions that pop up in my head at times in the gym. I believe that's it for right now. I'm out.